What's happening, folks? We are back for Phantasy Star II. Now, folks will know as I was going through the first Phantasy Star, I was saying that's one of my all-time favorite games, and it absolutely is. I love it, and the playthrough was every bit as nostalgic and as enjoyable as I expected it to be. But you'll also know that I mentioned several times during that Phantasy Star II is even better. It just takes the lore, the combat system, the atmosphere, and the music to an even higher level. So we're here to experience that. And this is a long game, even longer than the first one. So prepare yourself for quite a lengthy playthrough. And indeed, we've got a bit of an introduction here. So let's watch. Mota, or Motavia as it was known, which, if you'll remember, in the first game was almost entirely desert except for a couple city oases. But it looks like it's been turned into a much more green, garden, verdant world. So a full millennium after Alice, Meow, Odin, and Noah defeated Lassic and the dark force behind him, Dark Falls. Lots of engineering projects apparent. And yeah, they call it Algol in the first game, but now it's Algo. Everything seems to be shortened, like Desaris is now Dezo, Palma is now Palm, Motavia is now Mota, so that's just the way it goes. Alright, so there's this AI computer that runs the weather and is responsible for the agricultural and biological growth on the planet, which has ushered in a millennium of prosperity. Okay, so maybe they're less equipped to build or take care of the functions that are required to run a technological civilization. Well, I'm guessing we, meaning me, the game player, and you folks taking part in this, shout out to everyone who's here for the second Phantasy Star journey. And I mentioned, I never really played games 3 and 4, but I have them as well. So when we finish this, we'll be on to 3 and then on to 4, and those will be new experiences. Hello, Luca. Luca has come to say hello, but I'm worried she's going to step on the keyboard. Apparently she's not going to for now. Let's go. So the default name of the character in this one is Rolf, R-O-L-F. Here's the thing though, there's only 4 letters, so I can't do Cypher, and back in the day when I couldn't do Cypher, it was always Ace. As folks who followed my Shining Force CD playthrough may know, Ace is my backup role-playing game name. So away we go. And we get a proper intro story here, I think. And we know the girl is Alice and the demon is Dark Falls at the end of the first Phantasy Star. I'm not controlling my guy at this moment, in case that was unclear. Maybe the word implement would be better than promote there. It sounds like he's a PR guy, but I believe he's a more technical official who implements the protocols that the algorithms of Mother Brain have concluded are the best course of action. And okay, so now we hear that biomonsters are all over the planet, and theoretically something must have gone with Mother Brain. At least that's what the commander here is thinking. I love this track. The home track. Luca, would you make up your mind? No. So, as a kid, this name, she's a major character. We said it Nia, did me and my brother, Nia, but I don't know if that's the, like, Nay? I'm not sure. I'm gonna keep saying Nia because that's how we said it back in the day, so you'll just have to deal with that, but I'm not sure if that's a standard pronunciation. But there she is. You might notice a large ear, more on that in a moment. Okay, so we understand now that our good friend and I think it's sort of like an adopted sister, like an adopted little sister is the way Ace views her. But yeah, we learned that she's part human but also part biomonster, and again, we've also heard that Mother Brain seemingly has gone on the fritz because the Biosystems Lab started making monsters which have now fanned out across Mota and are a danger to the human folks, or the, I guess, not humans, but the, you know, normal residents of the Algol star system, or at least of Mota. Alright, Nia. You're on the team. Oh, this game's so great. Alright. Yeah, in that little scrolling introduction before we even started the game proper, we saw that bridge/tunnel. Ah yes, so as you start visiting other cities, not only here on Mota, but elsewhere, every once in a while when you go back to your house after that here in Paseo, the capital of Mota, your reputation has spread to the point where people come looking for you and like, hey, you know, I'd like to join what you're doing. And that's how you get additional players in this game. Well, it's good to have occupational goals, but I'd just say maybe ask your mother and father if that's alright. Ah yes, so that seems to be what they were talking about in the intro when, you know, because of Mother Brain taking care of the environment, the weather, and so on, some people feel like, you know, they don't even really need to do anything. They can just live a life of leisure. Oh right, you already told me that. That can't be good. We'll go to the shops after we go to the central tower, but I just want to talk to... Oh, yeah, you already told me that too. I'm going to talk to all the free walking people around. I agree. You scare me a bit, but I agree. And I like that this game actually gets geometry, meaning there's some games, like especially the 8-bit era, that if I try to keep walking, it would block me because it looks like the tree's in front of my chest. But of course, like, it's at a diagonal angle, and the horizontal plane in front of us is open. So I like that this game is actually smart. It gets geometry. Did we already talk to this kid? Yeah. Alright. Yeah, again, so the Biosystems Lab and Mother Brain behind it, you know, created all this agriculture and all these flora that allowed it to become the garden world it is today after... Yes, by... Or rather, you know, it used to be that desert world devoid of any rivers or lakes. Alright. Well, she's not wrong. There's a class of character called hunters, which are bigger guys who use guns. If Odin was still around, he'd be in the hunter class. Kid's already got ideas about his rationalization for not working. And that right there is the system for restoring people who died in battle. You don't get raised by a priest, you get cloned at the cloning lab. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. So just to get ahead of things, this is the game save place. Yeah, we've heard about him. He doesn't sound like a nice guy. Yeah, and you'll notice the art style in this one is very manga or anime. I love it. This, I believe, is the teleport station? Yes, indeed. So once you've been to a town, you can then fast travel to any and all towns that you've already been to. Very convenient. But yes, currently we don't know any other towns, so we'll have to wait for that. Yeah, no job. You're a funny looking fellow. But you may have seen in the status screen. So in this game, there's one-handed weapons, and if you get 2 of those, you get 2 attacks per turn. And there's also some weapons like guns and swords, which I think Ace is the only one who can use swords, but they're two-handed. So you get only 1 attack per turn, but they tend to be a lot stronger than the one-handed weapons, so yeah, there's a bit more strategizing you have to do. And yeah, we'll talk about the battles when we get to them in a minute, but Yeah, and the bars, which are, like, Nia is sort of like Meow in the first game, because again, she's sort of a half-human, half-bio-monster, and the bio-monster she was, is sort of like a cat. So she kind of has the same attack style as Meow in the first game. Ah, attack and defense, what's up? But yeah, in this game, you can fight different kinds of enemies in the same battle, and you can pick who you want to attack, which is very nice. Now, also in this game, speed is more important, and if the enemies are faster than you, once you commit to a strategy and hit fight, it might go 3, 4, 5 turns before you get to change anything, and obviously, like, if you're getting hit during that time, you can end up dying. Now, once you're faster than an enemy, you get to change or adjust every time around, you know, like you did in Phantasy Star 1. But yeah, there's enemies that are very fast. Now, eventually, like regular enemies, you can pretty much get to pick what you want to do every time around. But bosses tend to be very fast. And so, you either have to be very fast yourself, or, and just to give a little bit of a foreshadowing, there's a technique, they don't call them spells in this game, they call them techniques. There's a technique that ups your agility, and if you use that, then you get a new, like, you get to change things every time around while you're boosted, which is very helpful against the bosses. But enough of that, let's go to the tower. Almost looks like Sayako from Shangri-La, although a bit more scholarly and a bit less psychotic. Yeah, we gotta go pick up a data recorder at Biosystems, it's true. Okay. So yeah, the Biosystems Lab suddenly started making biomonsters, which have then spread throughout Mota, endangering the human population. So yes, it just says Mother Brain was brought to Palm, or Palma, as it was known in the first game. And then the network spread to Mota and Dezo. But nobody knows who built it or where it is. It's a little disconcerting. No, we're good. But thank you though, you're very helpful. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to go to the library. I meant to go to the room. Sorry. She's like, why are you walking back in here? Ah yes, we can get a storage locker in this game. Once we run out of room in terms of the items we can carry around with us. We can still get other things, we just have to put them in the storage locker. And I believe, I mean, that's helpful anyway, but I think there is a part in the story coming much, much later when we can save ourselves some extra struggle. But speaking of struggle, let's start to get some experience, and you're about to see some combat. Yeah, see, it rolled over. Like, we're so slow because we just started that even fire ants, which are basically like the weakest enemy, even they are fast enough that we can't change what we're doing between rounds, or at least not consistently or reliably. But once we start going up levels, that will change. Now, unfortunately, there's no equivalent to Swellow, meaning there's no one who can heal us for free in our hometown, which in this case is a lot bigger. It's, you know, the capital, Paseo. But yeah, we do, I think, Nia, yeah, she knows Res, which is the standard healing technique in this game. See, we can pick who we want to attack. Whole lot of missing going on. I'm annoyed. Has she hit both of her attacks in any of the rounds so far? Hey. There we go. So many nostalgic memories of this game, and honestly, we are in for such a journey. I ended up being wrong about how many hours it took to beat Phantasy Star 1. I was saying it'd be like 50 or 60. I think at the end it was close to 30, maybe even like 25. But no joke, this game, I think, at the time it came out, was the largest in terms of memory and, like, data. It was the biggest game that had yet been made for a console. And this is a testament to how different games are now to how they were back in the 80s and 90s. This is 89. And, you know, I've talked about in some other contexts how, like, you know, games back in the day, you bought the game and you owned the game and you could play it without being connected to the internet or having any subscription service or whatever. Now it's like most games you buy, they're like programs that you download and you have to like keep paying for access to them, and they don't come with instruction manuals. You know, they're like maybe a tutorial that's in the game. But back in the day, just about every game had a instruction manual. Now, some of them were more useful than others. You know, some were, you know, sort of silly, or they didn't provide much information other than like a button scheme. But this game came with, I kid you not, it was like a 60 or 70 page full color booklet. It wasn't just like a little pamphlet, it was like a full book. And it had maps of all the different places and dungeons. It had a description of all the weapons. It talked about what you had to do for the first, I'd say, 15 or 20% of the game. It was like crazy. It'd be like, in later generations, they would call it a strategy guide. At the time, it was literally just the booklet for Phantasy Star II. But I remember, like, at the time it was impressive, and looking back on it now, it's like, man, like, you know, gamers were spoiled back in the day. We got to play the game whenever we wanted without having to plug it into the internet. We got a booklet that gave us all the information we would probably need. Now, again, one of the cool things about more recent times is you can look up walkthroughs or pieces of information about a game online, whereas back in the day, it was either you figured it out either by yourself or through word of mouth, or they had like gaming hotlines, like 1-900 numbers that you'd have to pay like, you know, 2 minutes of like a call, or $2 a minute rather, and you know, you may or may not be able to get the system to answer what you wanted. But the point is, this game came with an incredible manual, and I had it like even long after, like, you know, I had moved on to PlayStation, whatever. I would still play my old systems, and I remember I had the manual for a long time. At some point, I sold... Actually, I don't even think I sold my Genesis. I think it got lost in a move. That's what I think it was. My Genesis and my Sega CD, and all the games were in a box. And one of the times I moved, the box got lost, or who knows, more cynically, maybe the movers, quote-unquote, lost it. But, yeah, bottom line, I don't have it anymore, but I think you could probably find it online. I'm guessing someone's turned it into a PDF. Look at that. I like how they heal everybody at the same time. Much more efficient than the healing at the hospital in Phantasy Star 1, and more economical. But yeah, we're gonna experience grind for a little bit here. 186. I can buy another knife at least. Now that is efficient. you'll notice the planters and the trees there, they're positioned in a way that to get over to that area on the right, I'm going to have to go all the way around, which I'm not going to do right now because I'm still just kind of experience gathering. Although I say that, maybe I should try to get to the next town, because I think the closest town, it's one of the ones where once we go to it and then go back home, I believe we get a new party member, and I might as well be powering up 3 party members. He can't use any techniques yet. Let's say yet. There we go. Oh, what happened here? Oh, you know, we heard someone in Paseo, as a woman, say that she liked living in Paseo because it was peaceful. And although she didn't say so explicitly, it seemed to suggest that Arima was not peaceful. Alright, so there's some scoundrels who are hiding out in Shore. Oh, damn. So some scoundrels use dynamite on Arima. Oh, it's her hands? Oh, there's a kid, like, behind her. What the hell? Oh, damn. Okay. So now we find out the guy who's essentially a highway robber under threat of violence in that tunnel to the north became that way because his daughter got kidnapped, and I guess he's trying to get ransom money. Yeah, I agree. Alright. Oh, damn. Lots of people died. I was gonna say, not all the women, nor all the men. I guess the older men were not important. Alright, more information. Hello. Weren't you on the other side of town saying that? What kind of weapons do we have here? Oh, a sword. Alright. Oh, 2 ceramic knives. That would be amazing. A shotgun we're gonna need soon, I think, for the person who's gonna be waiting at my house when we go back there. Oh, hello. I like that little footstep sound. Dope, 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 dope. Rudo. Rudolph Steiner. Alright. I like Rudo. I think I used to name him Odin or something, because it was like, oh, he's like an Odin guy. But yeah, we'll go with Rudo. I'm cool with Rudo. Bowgun. Oh, he's strong. Damn. Alright. In terms of sheer strength, his attack is no better than Nia's. Or Ace's, for that matter. But yeah, I'm gonna focus on attacking weapons, or weapons first, and then eventually I'm gonna try to get some defensive equipment. But for the time being, yeah, it's all about attack. Oh, whoops, I should save my game. Yeah, unlike Phantasy Star 1 where you can save it anywhere at all times, that is not the case in Phantasy Star 2. It's not quite how I spell her name, but it's close enough. I guess I could do it with a K, but no, we'll do it with an A. You damn straight I am. Does Ace know techniques in battle? Oh, he does. Foy. Yeah, see, that's the thing in this game. You gotta, like, learn what... Like, there's this whole nomenclature, which, if, you know, the first time you're playing, like, what is that? But it means fire. So, yeah, Ace apparently knows attack magic, and eventually he'll learn, I think, like, teleport and things that you can use when you're not in battle, but... For the time being, he... Oh, so this, I think, is the tunnel with Darum, so we don't want to go there. And obviously, like, once you start going to new areas, like these different quadrants, there can be much stronger enemies. But right now, the first few areas that you can access, they're pretty mellow in terms of the enemies. Excellent. Oh, and the marshes. I think there's different enemies here. I should be careful. Oh, yeah, this might be trouble. Froggy, froggy. Ow. Ow. too bad, but I'm not sure we should... They take off enough. Oh god. More of them. Yeah, trouble. First weapon I think we're going to have to get is a better gun for Rudo. I think we're going to go for that $800 or Masetta shotgun, which I remember it's primarily a one-person weapon, or like a one-enemy weapon, but if there's more than one enemy of the same kind, you can get like splash damage onto the other one. There's the blue dam. We heard about the color coding. Oh, hello. I think there's stronger enemies. Yep. Okay. Hello. And 4 of them at that. That didn't help, Rude. Oh my god, you guys are all failures. Will we survive this battle? It remains to be seen. But yeah, we're not quite strong enough to be over in this area yet, I don't think. Oh, I should have healed Ace. Oh my god, he's gonna die. motherfucker. We gotta try to run. Yeah, not quite strong enough to be over here yet. Okay. Do they have a clone lab here? I don't think they do they? Oh, they do. Okay. I gotta figure something out. If the heal is based on the price of a given hospital, meaning like it always costs 16 Meseta to heal at Paseo and always 20 to heal at Arma, or if it depends on how badly you're hurt. And or in need of tech points. Can I go on the side? I can. Doesn't quite make sense, but I guess there's a little maintenance door on the side of the tunnel. Okay, so it is based on how much you need it. Fair enough. And indeed, that probably is the fairer method. I gotta name it every time? Oh, okay, I can just hit end and it keeps the name. Yes, I am. You know, I'm going to comment on the snare. It's such a prominent snare, but my understanding is when they ported the game to the North American market, they adjusted the music tracks slightly, and one of the things they did is downgrade the snare, nerf, as I think some gamers would say in the present. But yeah, apparently the snare was even poppier in the original Japanese version of the game. And I think that's on basically all the tracks. Alright, so how did I get to that other area? I'm not sure it would be wise to go back there right now, but once we go up one or two more levels and I get Rudo a shotgun, I think we can start venturing that way. But I'm what, like 300 Meseta? Yeah. So I need quite a bit more. It'd be nice if we could fight. these guys are alright, but those snakes, what are they called again? Poisoner? It seems like they come in pairs, often with a bee, and that battle gives us 47 Meseta, so if we could fight more of those guys, it'd be helpful. Thank you, game. Ace, what's going on, bro? Nia is carrying this party, I'm telling you. Not only her attack, but with the res technique. Without her, we'd be lost. Alright, we're taking a bit of a risk. Oh, hello. I think this is climate control, or sorry, this is the biosystems lab. We don't quite want to be here yet, but let's see if we can get a battle, just get a sense for what kind of enemies are going to be inside. Alright, not too bad. Yeah, we'll be back. Let's see if we can find another town. We're gonna end up fighting people that are too strong. Here we go. Alright. Yep, see, we didn't get a chance to change. Yeah, we gotta get out of this area. They just really are too strong. And Rudo, you gotta... Oh my god. And when magic misses, that's the worst. Oh shit, I should've healed Nia. Survive one more round. Oh, come on. Ow. Alright, we'll take that, but damn, we gotta get out of here. And fast. Hopefully what Ace learned is the ability to warp back home. Yes, I think that's what that is. I think that's what that is. I'm gonna heal just in case. Yes. Alright. So now walking back as long as I how many tech points did that take? What did I have? 11, so it took 8? I think that's the same as fly, right? From the first game. Alright, we're almost to the shotgun. We're almost to the shotgun. I should have saved my game though. Go back and do that. Whoops. Bup, bup. You gotta just not miss. That's very helpful. Though again, missing is not helpful. Oh, hello, what are you? Yeah, we can't get in yet, can we? Ah, so we heard that those scoundrels who dynamited Arima have more dynamite locked away in some container. Sounds like we might need to get our hands on that to get in to whatever building that is. Can I get through there? Yes. Oh, hello. Armor ant. Wow, that was close. That should be just about 800, right? Oh ho, with money to spare. Alright. I'm not sure I can get through when I'm about to walk. Alright. How I want those ceramic knives. Can I sell? I probably can only sell at those item shops, right? It went up, right? Yeah. Not by much, but by 4. So let me just make sure I can. Yeah, I can only sell at the item shop. Alright, well, let's go sell his bow gun. Oh wait, did I not buy a second? Oh, I did. Alright. Oh, whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. I hit B just to quit out to, like, you know, hurry up the process, but... I will. Friendly data center lady. You know, one day I'm gonna remember that I can't walk straight up when I come out of the village, or of the capital. Now that is what I'm talking about. Liken your shotgun, Rudo, and don't take that the wrong way. Oh, did he now? Is it an outside technique? No, it's a battle tech. Oh, he's already learned Gifoy, which is the second level fire attack. Yeah, and it does that. It's like the regular one, Ge, and whatever it is, and like Na, like Nafoy, I think is the strongest, or at least a stronger one. Perfectly efficient. Oh, hello. Wow, Rudo with the shotgun makes a big difference. I'm gonna go get some more tea, but I shall try to be quick about it. That doesn't help, Rudo. been missing a lot with that shotgun. Moving on up, getting stronger and stronger. Anybody here want to tell me where these guys keep the dynamite? Almost back to 1,000. Alright, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna get a heal, I'm gonna get some more tea, and we'll play for at least a little bit longer in this opening installment. Excellent. Ace and Nia are perfectly synced. I don't know if that would have been the case if Ace wouldn't have died. Maybe it'll just get unaligned anyway, but for right now, I love that they keep going up at the same time. Okay, I'll leave you with the happy anime girl, the data storage lady, while I go get some more tea, and I shall be right back in a couple minutes. Okay. Ideally, I could get 2 ceramic knives, and then even before I get some defensive equipment, I think that would mean I'd be leveled up enough and strong enough attack-wise that I could then do some of the actual narrative or like dungeon work without worrying. And while doing that, I'd be building up money to buy some defensive items, but first things first, if I'm really gonna do that, then I've gotta get busy. Yeah, they definitely streamlined it, especially, you know, there being no treasure chests to have traps in. Don't get me wrong, treasure chests are good, but when they have spears and or bombs in them, they're not great. Ouch. I'm forgetting what cure does at the hospital. I guess, like, if you get poisoned, not paralyzed, the status remains even after a fight. Because clearly it's different than heal, but being paralyzed, it ends when the fight ends. So, like I said, I guess, like, poison or some other status effects persist even after the battle. I was about to say, you know, this arrangement isn't bad to fight, except on the rare occasion when they get the jump on you, and they get a full round of attacking before you can even do anything. Not great. I gotta heal Ace, he's gonna die. Oh, come on. I feel like the gun misses, especially a shotgun from close range. Like, how is it missing? I like it. What are the ceramic knives? Are like 2600, 2800, about halfway there for one of them. We'll see if we can get two of them. Oh, but see, then if we get two of them, I'll be like, oh, well, let's go do the first dungeon. We'll see. We might do a long playthrough for this opener, like I've done with a lot of my playthroughs. I think the first Chrono Trigger was at least over 2 hours. The first Star Control 2, I don't know if it was that long, because I know that was like the first long playthrough I was doing, so I was still trying to figure out like how long installment should be. First Super Mario World, which was the very first gaming playthrough I did, I think that was only like 20 minutes, so yeah, that was back when I like didn't know how long people would be willing to watch with me. And again, shout out to Michaela and to any of you who may be checking out these gaming playthroughs, if I can get my mouth to work, on a more consistent basis. But yes, greatly appreciated for those who take these journeys. As I said, Michaela's been watching just about all of them. Big shout out to you. But it's fun, right? Like, going back to these old games, like, you know, a lot of people do gaming videos of more modern games, including a lot of people who do Halo videos. And, you know, I play Halo in the modern era, mostly the MCC, meaning Master Chief Collection, which has the first 4 original Halos, as well as a couple of the side games. Halo Reach, which, I guess that's a main game, but it was a prequel, and then Halo 3 ODST, where you don't even play as the Chief, you play as, like, a regular human. Anyway, the point is, I do play those games, but I don't have any way to screen capture those, because my screen recorder, it's specifically, like, on my computer. And in fact, shout out to my friend Chris, he sent me one of these gaming boxes, which has, like, games from all the old school consoles, and even, you know, first PlayStation, Dreamcast, like, whatever, but... And I can plug it into my monitor here, but it's not, like, part of my PC. It's, like, a separate computer. And so I know they have like external like DVR recorders, but I don't quite know how to make all that work. I'm kind of like a dinosaur with tech. Meaning, if I could figure that out, if I could buy like a a screen recorder or a DVR recorder that like I could run my computer through, or I could run, rather, not my computer, but that gaming box through or something while using my screen here, that would be amazing, because then I could, you know, the games I could access and the speed at which they would play, meaning like when I play games here on my PC, it slows things down. Like you see in the corner here, it says 33, now 32, now 31, like that's frames per second. And when I'm not screen recording, this emulator, Fusion, it runs at about 60 frames per second. So, you know, you don't notice much of a difference in a game like this. A little bit. But the point is, like, it would be crisper and more fluid. So yeah, maybe someday. But regardless of all that tech issue, I just love playing these old games. And it's really cool to me that some of you enjoy going back through them and listening to my inane commentary, which now feels very meta because I'm inanely commenting right now. What am I at? Like 50 or 1800? 1700. So more than halfway there, certainly. I also like that the extra people around the towns... Oh, see, yeah, it is very different now. I guess it just lined up that one time. I do remember Nia goes up levels more quickly than Ace. That does come back to me. And it's funny, like, I don't remember a lot about this game. But what I do remember is that there's a couple major plot points I do recall. And one of them is, I don't know about early in the game, but certainly within the first half of the game. But I don't want to talk about it because it's such a cool thing, a very dramatic thing when it happens. So careful about how I talk about certain things. But again, the overall arc of the game, I don't remember all that well. I remember, as I said, something that comes in the first half of the game, and then I remember the very end of the game. And I'll definitely be mum about that, but everything in between is sort of hazy. Though to be clear, this is another one that, you know, I beat when I was... I mean, I guess I would have been like 9 by the time I was playing it. I think I got it Christmas of '89, meaning I had just turned 9. So yeah, you know, I played it in my late single-digit years, my preteen years. I definitely beat it multiple times, and then I think... I'm trying to remember if it's one of the ones, you know, because I had these emulators and ROMs for a long time now, like, you know, early 2010s, I started like, oh, I want to get into retro gaming again, and so I found emulators and some ROMs, but... You know, obviously, that was before I was gaming on YouTube. Now, admittedly, by the time you get to, like, I don't know, 2013 or whatever, like, I had a YouTube, but I was only using it occasionally to upload like, a DJ mix. But the point is, in the 2010s, I did beat some old... Like, I beat the original Phantasy Star at some point. I beat Chrono Trigger a couple times. I beat Chrono Cross, which is on the original PlayStation, and you know, I have like a PlayStation emulator on my computer, But I remember, you know, I got the ROM for Chrono Cross and a couple other PlayStation games, but I couldn't get it to work. So I still am holding out hope that even if I don't upgrade my tech, at some point I can figure out how to make the ROMs for that for that PlayStation emulator to work. And if that's the case, then, you know, we could go through Chrono Cross, the sequel to Chrono Trigger, just like all the other games we played here, which would be great, because that is an amazing game. A very worthy successor of Chrono Trigger. Indeed, the only thing I think you could say about it in retrospect that is a slight criticism, which isn't even its fault, is that it was in the PlayStation 1 era. And PlayStation 1 graphics now, they look very, like, polygon-y, like they're very kind of, you know, boxy kind of people and whatever. So it's like, on one level, graphically they could do things that the 8-bit and 16-bit consoles couldn't do, but actually, those earlier cartridge-based consoles, the graphics look better from a modern perspective than the early disc generation games look. It wasn't until you get to Xbox and like PlayStation 2 that graphics started to look a bit better, and then obviously over time, now graphics on the modern systems are crazy. They look like you're, you know, playing movies. But yeah, that very first generation of CD consoles, like the Sega CD, the original PlayStation, the 3DO, the graphics are more like 3D rendered, but they look very like, you know, square-shaped heads, like box people. So yeah, the only critique I'd have of Chrono Cross is that the player sprites look a bit of their time, though the landscapes in the game look great, and the music is just maybe the best soundtrack ever. It's, you know, it's an incredible game. So boxy, polygon-looking people or not, it'd be great to do a playthrough of it, especially because we've gone through all of Chrono Trigger here on the channel, which is one of my favorite journeys that we've done so far. I really did enjoy going through that game. Okay, can we not miss that many times in one turn, please? I do love the sound of the locust attack. Wow. We at 2K yet? Not quite. Getting there. I think we might do one ceramic knife, and then I'll warm up at the beginning of the next playthrough by getting the second ceramic knife, and then we'll go over to Biosystems, which I believe we're right in front of right now. Remember when you guys almost killed me? I hope you enjoyed it, because those days are gone. Although, Ace, if you could stop missing, that'd be great. I like that when Rudo's shotgun hits 2 people, it does the same amount of damage or the same tier of damage. Like, there's games where when a weapon is split up, like an attack is split up on multiple enemies, like let's say it would normally take off 20 from one enemy, it'll take off 10 from each of them. But here, you know, it normally takes off about 10, but if you hit more than one person, then it's 10 off of both of them. I feel like that's much more fair. $2,200, we're almost there. Whoa, that was weird. It let me like stop and open the menus, but apparently I had already triggered the next battle. It's good when the waspies like attack before you attack them, because the heal doesn't do anything. They don't get extra hit points back. Once you start attacking them and then they do that, it's annoying. You know, it's like, well, that's an extra attack it's gonna take now. I will say though, the one major benefit of Phantasy Star 1 is you can save literally at any time between battles, whether you're in a dungeon or outside. It is unfortunate you can't do that here. Meaning it's riskier to go into dungeons. You know, it's like Chrono Trigger, where like, there were save points in dungeons when you find a shelter. Or, well, no, a shelter is an item you would use at save points, or on the world map where you could save. But yeah, like, there were points along the way where you could save, but you couldn't save at any time. Here, I think it's only data storage centers in the cities where you can save. So, like, once you're in a dungeon, you know, you either figure it out or you have to teleport out early, like... There's no, like, hold on, I'm gonna save before I, like, fight this guy, or save before I go up to face the next boss, or whatever. Now that I say that, I think there might be a couple exceptions. I think there might be, like, some save points. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. There's the point near the end that I'm thinking of that, like, I think maybe there's a way to save in what is technically like the middle of a dungeon excursion or incursion. Never mind. That's what I was trying to avoid, so it doesn't matter anyway. Two Bs. That feels remarkably low grade for this quadrant. I mean, it's the kind of fight where you don't take any damage, so in a way, it is helpful. It's, you know, it prolongs the time you can keep fighting, but 4 experience point and 18 Meseta, it's not quite what we're looking for at this point. I repeat my comment. Yeah, armor ants. Ouch. Basically, we're looking for that second tier of enemy. Did we get them unparalyzed? Thank you. Gotta be pretty close. Yeah, I think we're... I don't remember. It might be 2800, but I think we're just about there. So I suppose we could start walking back that way. Maybe one more battle in this area. Assuming... Oh god. One more real battle over here. There we go. Hello. It keeps rolling it over. Like, really? Okay. Alright, let's start walking back over to Arma. Singular Locust, I think you're out of your league, buddy. Teleport station here? Just curious. There has to be, right? Yep. Aha! It was 2800. Alright. I think if I try to give it to someone who can't use it, I think he's like, just so you know, this person can't use that item, or that weapon, right? Okay, so my attack is what, 42? Hello. Just wait till I get 2 of those bad boys. No, Luca, no, no, no. I gave her a smooch on the head, but no, don't see, because I don't want you to mess up either the sound recording or the ROM, Luca. That's the thing. I was like, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I gotta sell the regular knife. No, 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 no. She literally almost stopped the sound recording. Exactly what I was trying to avoid you doing, Luca. Whoops. I just wanted to go back to the earlier choice. It's like, can I buy and sell in the same trip? Oh, okay. I guess I can. Oh, whoopsie, I keep doing that. No, 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 no. Alright. You gonna be difficult, game? Five points to go up a level. I guess I should stick around here and get those 23 experience points so Ace and Nia can get their new HP and TP levels and then get a heal and then go out for the long haul for hopefully all 2800 that we need. Oh, hello. I forgot. He's got that new weapon. learned a new technique. Is it an outdoor one or an indoor, or like a battle one? Oh, I think Shnootz, I think that leaves a dungeon. I think that's what that one is. So those two are absolutely critical. Again, as a kid, it was like, what do these names mean? I think that elaborate instruction booklet did explain most of the spells, or at least like the base form. It was like, you know, Foy are fire spells. Sue, I haven't used it yet, but I think it's a wind spell. I think it's slightly stronger magic. But yeah, it was a bit like, oh damn, this, you know, all these spells are in the linguistic culture of Algo. Whereas in the first game, they're very straightforward. You know, it's like trap, exit, fire, wind, thunder. Need like 1 or 2 more battles. Nia will go up, we'll go get a save. There we go. Okay. Not bad. And what does... Can I... Oh, to see them individually. Yeah. Oh, Zan. Zan, I sort of remember there's like these, not hoops, what's the right word? It's like a cylinder, but like with individual, I'll call them hoops. It like surrounds the enemy and it takes off a decent amount of damage. I don't know what, it's like there's no equivalent spell from the first game. But yeah, it's another attack spell. Oh, god damn it. I'm never gonna stop, because B is always the button you hit to, like, leave. So then, like, I'm trying to leave the store. I'm not trying to, like, end the playthrough, but I'm gonna have to get used to that. Here she comes again. She's gonna cause problems again. I might have to go give her some treats. Let's hang out in the safe area of this bridge tunnel. And I'm gonna go give her some treats. I shall be right back. away we go. Not only did Luca get some treats, but I got some more tea. Forgot, what is up here? Is it a dead end? It's a dead end, isn't it? There's no way to get over to the side? Yeah. I mean, it's not a dead end to the left or to the west. That's where the bridge, as they call it, or the tunnel that Darum is guarding and robbing people in. That's where that is. You know, these are really unproductive battles. But yeah, you folks know, I've been watching my role-playing game playthroughs. This is usually what the first playthrough is like, just kind of building up strength, getting better items and weapons before proceeding into the more narrative part of the game. Because I like being stronger than the game expects you to be when you're actually doing important dungeon crawls and missions. Now that was harder in the Shining Force games because, certainly in the original one, and even in number 2 I would say, even though like there are some battles you can replay like even after you beat them in number 2, but like in number 1 and for the most part in number 2, like they're these one-off battles, so you know there's only so much experience that's on offer, whereas games like this and Chrono Trigger you can just wander and fight random battles and get better experience. Although in Chrono Trigger they're not quite random. It's not the same thing as in the Phantasy Star games where like you don't know when you're going to be pulled into a battle. Like in Chrono Trigger, in certain areas there's certain sets of enemies, and even though you can go through the area and reset the enemies and fight them again, you can't just keep walking through an area endlessly because eventually there's no more enemies to fight. But the point is, yeah, Shining Force and Shining Force 2 and Shining Force CD especially, like, the only way to get extra experience is to egress, to, like, leave the battle before it's actually done and then start it again, which, of course, I did do. No better example than near the end of the first Shining Force when there's the battle with all those robots that are serving King Ramladu. And that's especially good to keep repeating because for a long time, until you get like way, way high in your levels, they keep giving you the maximum amount of experience when you kill them. So, yeah, if you remember, I did like one installment where it was mostly me just refighting that battle. Then the final installment was like, I don't know, 2 hours of me doing that, and then I went into the final run of the game. So the full playthrough, the final installment of Shining Force 1, it was like, it wasn't 5 hours, but it was close to that. Oh no, wait, maybe it was like 3 hours or whatever. I think it was the final Chrono Trigger that was like 4.5 hours or something. Either way, those are fun. Like, I enjoy the kind of marathon playthroughs, so. Nope. Luca, you can't sit there right now. No, you can't. No. She's just looking at me. I see you. I know what you're doing. I'm gonna try to multitask here, but I'm watching. Luca, I'm watching you. How am I fighting 2 bees over here? Like, this is like the 3rd or 4th time this has happened. This is not the area for 2 bees. Nope. Nope. I put her on her chair. We'll see what she does. Nope, she's coming right back over. No. How are there, like, no enemies while I'm doing this? And then when I finally get enemies, it's 3 fire ants? Really? We close to 1,000 yet? Nope. About halfway to that. And about 1/5, maybe almost 1/6 of the way to what I need. Alright, enjoy that free first turn, because it's the only one you're gonna get. Can we fight some more waspies and armor ants, please? Those are the enemies I'm looking to fight right now. The answer, no. I cannot fight waspies or armor ants at the moment. I mean, honestly. This is ridiculous. I do like, again, that obviously part of the testing feedback or the gamer feedback they got after the first game was like, amazing game, great atmosphere, love the story, love the character design. I mean, come on. But can we dispense with the exploding and or arrow shooting treasure chests? But for real, like, this is supposed to be like the most dangerous quadrant I can fight in right now. Can we actually get some decently dangerous enemies? No, we can't. We can't. We're just gonna keep fighting garbage enemies, which don't give me enough Meseta or experience to make this worth it. Because of the way that played out, we get an extra attack for Frog, who hits multiple people. Great. Completely not worth it and very annoying. For real. I mean, marginally better, but no. Oh, and they get a first attack. That's awesome. I love you, game. Keep on being dumb. Of course, that one doesn't get hit. I really don't understand what's happening right now. Did I kill off or scare away all of the second tier enemies? Finally. I like that. $1,200? Oh god, I'm so ambitious. I guess that's because we've been fighting all these low-level enemies. It feels like I've gotten more Meseta than I have. To wit. They're bees. Like, how are they getting the drop on us when they're so weak compared to where we are now? Yawn. That's more like it. Nice little bit of symmetry. Everyone at 58 hit points. Really? I like it. I like it. Rudo, could you stop missing for real? Thank you. Now are we at like 1300 something? Yes, okay. I've recalibrated my general mental counting. I'm wondering if I was right about the shotgun, because there's been times where on a single person it hits 20, and then other times where like it hits 10, but I think on the times where it hits 10, it's like maybe targeting 2 people but only landing one of them. I mean, there's a degree of variable damage anyway. Can we stop getting like jumped where they get the first attack? That'd be nice. But yeah, I guess I was wrong. I guess it does split it. More than halfway there. Do a few more battles. I'll do Ace's, what is it called? Ryuka. We'll go back, get healed, go out one more time, get the second ceramic knife, and then perhaps we can do the biosystems lab. good, though, to fight these guys multiple times in a row. Alright, I think after this one we'll go back. I knew he was close. Oh, he is close again. Alright, I'm remembering this time, don't hit B. Whoops. It's your fault, Rudo. You just hit him like you were supposed to. You wouldn't have had to take a second turn, and Nia wouldn't have gotten attacked. Again, how are they getting the jump on that? And again... bit of a waste that the one ceramic knife attack happening on the guy who only had a couple hit points left, but what are you gonna do? All of them got 4, did they? Okay. He's dead. He's not. There we go. Oh, a new technique. Oops. Oh, he learned res. Alright. Nice. Well, that means I could stay out twice as long fighting, because if 2 people have technique points for healing, then it extends us, but hopefully we're close to like 2/3 of the way there. Oh yeah. We're 3/4 of the way there, in fact. probably getting close to Rudo going up a level, I would think. Well, at least it was like 200, and I guess Ace, who was like in the 50-something when we left, his was a little, so maybe like halfway there, actually. Probably a little while longer. Yeah, that's right, because Nia was at like, what, 96, something like that when we left? That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Really? Like 2 useless rounds? Oh my god, we're 52 Meseta away. Obviously, I'm going to want to get a little bit beyond that so I can get a heal. But that And in fact, why don't we get like 100 more so then I can just teleport to Arima. And then I can head up to Biosystems straight away without the extra little walk. I mean, like 1-4 waspy battle would do it, game. Can you just give me that? Nope. Alright, one more battle. Give me a bigger one, please. Be 2 bees, mark my words. Or 3 fire ants. You heard it, right? You heard me predict that, right? I mean, you can't script this. Alright, well, as long as I'm on a good prediction run, this next battle will be one worth fighting. There you go. 3 in a row. Alright, but last one, and then we'll... Oh, God. Haha. Oh, come on, you... Oh, come on, you bastard. Okay. Oh, I do, but hold on. Oh, God. See, then I do that again. God damn it. Oh, my God. What a nightmare. Stop being difficult, game. Let's get Rudo up a level, then we'll save and heal. Then we'll get the second ceramic knife and we'll head up to Biosystems. 13 experience, right? Oh, how are they getting the drop? I mean, honestly. $10 experience for you, Rudo. Six more experience, which probably means 2 battles. Really? They get the drop in all of them? Alright. Now, we'll really go do the thing. Thank you for the patience, folks. Again, the first playthrough of any RPG, the way I do it, tends to be a lot of grunt work, so to speak. Now we'll teleport our way over to Arma. Excellent. Is there a data place here? There probably is, right? It would be weird if there wasn't a data place here, but I guess there's not. Alright, game, fair enough. Alright, let's do this. Oh, see, Rudo, you messed it up, man. And I'm not using maps yet. There may be later dungeons where I'm gonna consult a map, because they do get more elaborate. Really, game? Okay. It's funny, when I was younger, I liked kind of the atmosphere, the design of like the pipes and the rafters, but I did just have a thought like, you know, get out of the way, I want to like see more of the actual ground floor that we're on. And that thing on the right there is an elevator. They go up or down, but oh god. Please kill them quickly. Thank you. Of course. Of course. Really? Really? Another 3 set of frog. And of course he hits everybody. Really? Really? That was reasonably efficient. I think there's some item you can get eventually that makes you fight like half as many random battles when you're walking around. I wish I had that right now. And as you can see, the dungeons in this game are in one way less confusing because you have this overhead view, and yet in another way they're equally confusing. I can't get down there, can I? I think I have to go to that elevator. But yeah, in another way, like, it's just as much confusing because you can walk down this long area, even if you can see more with the overhead view. Yeah. And you still can waste your time going to a dead end. Hello. You don't scare me. Dead end. I guess I'll go back to these two elevators that are down here. I have to see. Oh, come on. Yeah, great. So that goes back down? Yeah, okay. Oh, fuck off. Okay. I see how it is. So I do have to go back to the way that I was just going to explore. Haha, very funny game. Wait, what? So all the Meseta we're earning now is going to go toward armor. I'm going to see if there's another path. Probably be another dead end. It's going to be another dead end. Although I should go back and get that chest, actually. But now that I'm this far up, I might as well see if it is a dead end or not. It's not, is it? No, it's not. Okay. Go back and get the chest. Then I'm going to go to that level. Because that's another one that goes up, I believe. So this one goes up too, but something tells me I'm going to want the other one. That's the way these games work. Oh, come on. Oh, did she now? I think that's a poison removing. Oh, and that one goes back down? Do I really want to go back down? What would be the point of going down? Oh. So that... Wasn't there like a different one that took me to that same... Maybe those are two different lock chests? I don't remember when we get a key. I am curious if this is a dead end. Oh, come on, you bastard. This is a long dead end. I'm going to be furious with you, game. That one goes up. Whoa. Scare me, dude. Check the down one first. If it's another one that takes me to that... dude. Is this one that I'm so confused. Was I already here? Going back to the one that I just went past. hello. So who has the weakest defense? 46, 51, probably Nia, right? Yeah. Oh, well, my bad, girl. Oh, shit, okay. Alright, can I go through there? I can, but to no avail. I think we are gonna want to fall at some point. I think that's the point, that, like, you have to fall. Maybe not in this one, but I know there's some dungeons where, like, the only way you can get to where you need is to get to a higher level and then to fall down. So even though there aren't pitfalls in the same way there are in the first Phantasy Star... Oh, shit. Oh, fucking hell. You gotta go, like, all the way around, right? Motherfuck. I don't even think we're in biosystems, because I was just curious, like, wondering if I know what I'm looking for here, and I think this is where we get the dynamite. I don't think it's actually this is like the hideout of the people. So I'm gonna egress, I'm gonna save, I'm gonna do a little more research between this and the next playthrough. I mean, this is good though. It gets a sense of what these dungeons are gonna be like, and I did get some headgear while I was in here, but yeah, I'm gonna do a little better research, and I will make sure that we don't waste too much time next time. Because yeah, this is the hideout. I guess that means, because the only other building we can access is the one below. So I guess that is biosystems. We'll find out. I shall do all appropriate research between now and the next playthrough. And yeah, we did about 3.5 hours, so that's a good starter, to say the least. Alright, well, I'm glad we did a lot in this first playthrough. Got some good weapons. Obviously, like Nia, who started out with, you know, the best attack, we need to upgrade her when we can. And I don't know what town will have the next level of bars for her to get, but hopefully that's not too far away. I'll just save all three of them. But yes, as I said, we shall do some more substantive journeying next time in the second installment. We'll make sure to figure out which lab is, or which building is Biosystems Lab. We'll do that. We'll try to get the dynamite, although I think I gotta get a key, because again, a lot of those treasure chests I wasn't able to open. No, we'll call it here, game. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that opening installment. I certainly did. I'm looking forward to more. Obviously, I've got other gaming playthroughs that I'll keep going through. I need to finish off Mario Kart. I gotta do my best to keep advancing in Road Rash 2. Is there any others that are open right now? Oh yeah, Donkey Kong. So yeah, those are all more like short arc playthroughs. So yeah, but as I said, we'll keep going at this because I'm so excited to get to this game, and it is going to be a long one, and there's some amazing narrative points along the way. So I hope you're ready for that. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.